Greg, I wanted to ask you a follow-up question about energy dissipation because you'd referenced it a couple times and you pointed out a few really precise sources or trouble areas of energy dissipation. And so I was wondering if you could share a little bit more about your perspective there, some of those sources that you identify as like common areas of energy dissipation or surprising ones, and maybe how you coach teams to identify or eliminate that, because as you know, you become more senior, you become more abstracted from the teamwork. How do you do that?
It's really important to me and my colleagues at Snowflake to really empower everybody, to bring ideas to the table, to kind of, be a partner in many things we do. And a part of it is to tell us if, maybe one process went too far, or maybe if some tool is not so great, or essentially friction. We actually have every roughly between 6 to 9 months something which we call friction survey. It goes to everybody in the product org, and there's essentially one question: what slows you down? And it can be anything. I even once got a response like, it was before the pandemic, on the third floor after 3 p.m. there's no coffee. Okay, actually that was pretty easy to fix, right? But there are of course deeper problems, like, let's say security reviews would take a long time, or we actually were kind of straddling two different source code systems and all that, right? So it can be all over the place. And with our TPM org, we are trying after every survey to go after those items. Certainly, we have a lot of work to do now. The focus is our dev tooling to make it faster. Again, how to increase the unit productivity of engineers. So one source is essentially learning from everybody, what hurts and trying to fix it. And there is the kind of large observation, I talked about it. A large source of energy dissipation is changing plans. So we really spend time with the PM team and architects and everybody who has some input on defining what to do next. And I've been here for 3 years now. Actually, last Friday I turned 3 at Snowflake, and I haven't yet seen like a major change of plans. And it's not because we are so stubborn and kind of work against reason, but it's really because planning is done very well, and then you can just execute smoothly.
The coffee one I think is really fun because that becomes like a really tangible, easy thing to do and like a no-brainer. I love hearing that particular story.
Actually, to me, it was. So, I don't drink coffee, so I wouldn't know, but I accepted it as a fact of nature that coffee is important.
Yeah, I think it just goes to show like how the level of detail that you have to go into to understand what causes an increase or decrease in productivity, what kind of grinds people's gears, because everything builds on one another to create a perfect working environment that maximizes all of your metrics and productivity, which...
But it also shows a bit, I think, of kind of trust. I think that people bringing up even such seemingly small problems, but of course for them important, it shows a certain level of trust. Like, I trust that at the minimum, nobody will use it against me, that information, nobody will make fun of it. At the maximum, somebody will fix it. And I always tell the team that there are no kind of problems too small, because if something bothers you, certainly it's most likely worth fixing.